Good morning. It's about 5:20 this morning. By far the coldest morning yet since I've been out here. Had to move the stove into the Land Cruiser and making coffee. But there's just a chill that I can't seem to shake. I see the sun coming up on the distant mountain. But wow, it's gotta be low 30s, maybe upper 20s. I'll see if something's frozen outside here in a minute. Well, 6:05, wind's blowing cold. I'm packed up, saying goodbye to this place. It won't be long and I'll be out of the mountains, heading east. Been quite an adventure. So I went about a mile towards Lake City from my campsite, and there was like a town. Two old log structures, a modern bath facility, pit bathrooms, several campsites. They were all full. Several people parked around the bathrooms. Here I was thinking I was alone in the wilderness, and a mile away there was a town. Well, it's about 6:30, but I'm moving for 20 minutes, and the road is pretty slick. I mean, I'm rolling 15 miles an hour with no problem. Low range, third gear, and I saw a motorhome come up. He tried to squeeze by. It was a tight fit. I don't think this is the right place for that. But apparently the road is good all the way back to Lake City, up until you get to that bathroom facility, and then after that, it's game on. So first 20 miles out of Lake City is great, and then after that it gets rocky and loose, and it takes something to get up there. Mill Creek Campground. That's the fourth rabbit I've seen. One just ran across the road right before that bridge. So I'm just going to shoot in here real quick. I don't know if there's a reservation system for it or not, but there's dumpsters to get rid of trash. There's a bathhouse. It's a pit toilet, so no running water. It's big enough to bring an RV in and camp here. It's interesting, this is supposed to be their busy time, and there's not a soul here. That's interesting. There's somebody up there. There's a ton of campsites over there right across the river or creek, whatever this is, and there's people there. I guess where that big RV parking, there was none, but there's a lot of pop-up tents and pop-up campers and tents, picnic tables and all that. So I guess if I had turned in there, I would have seen that. Mill Creek Campground. So the Alpine Loop suddenly turned to asphalt, and I'm pumping up the tires. Looks like there's gonna be minimal off-road after this, but it's been fun. There's some people that live around here. This is what they wake up to every morning. I can't imagine. Probably they take it for granted. It's easy to do once you've been doing it for a long time. It just seems normal, natural. Just rolled into Lake City, where it's legal to ride your four-wheeler on the road, and RZR, and side-by-side, dirt bike, whatever. Don't have to have a tag, no insurance. And this is kind of a launching spot for folks heading up on the Alpine Loop. It's also a destination from folks who start over on the Ouray side. They like to come over here and eat lunch and then shoot back. So this is where it all starts. Elevation 8,600. Looks like just a ton of low quality houses and just nothing too special. If you see that duck right there, you know what that's all about. I'm gonna stop and get some gas, and then I'm heading out to Creede. Windy Point Overlook on the way to Creede out of Lake City. Last night I slept pretty much over there where that snow is, somewhere over there. And the wind was blowing and it was cold. I get up here, it's about 10,700 feet. And it's just as still and calm. The irony. Windy Point Overlook. So we just reached the summit of a 11,700 foot mountain. It's like Slongillian, something like that. And now it looks like the mountains, the San Juan Mountains at least, they're giving out. We're headed toward another mountain range, sub-mountain range of the Rockies. It's not quite as steep and rugged. Looks kind of more like the Appalachians, except for that one far ahead. It's got a rocky top with some snow on it still. But I think we're in the Gunnison National Forest and pretty remote. Haven't seen anybody heading toward Creede. Only seen a handful of cars coming from Creede toward Lake City, and they were mostly towing side-by-sides. Well, hello dear. There's two of them. Well, we're at the Continental Divide here, and for the first time my GPS is more or less in agreement within 2 feet. So wonder what's been going on. Anyway, on this side I think all the water goes into the Gulf, and on what was behind me went into the Pacific. Kind of high plains prairie up here. A lot of places. It's a beautiful morning. It's quiet. Hadn't hardly seen anybody. Guy in a big Monarch motorhome a while ago came by. Looked like a tour bus climbing through the mountains. But otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. Just past the historical marker showing the headwaters of the Rio Grande River. It goes on a 1,885 mile journey to the Gulf of Mexico. Kind of interesting. We were in a bunch of rangeland, and now we're 25 miles out of Creede, and it's turning more into woods. At least the descent right now. You can see we're headed down. Gotta slow this rig down a little bit. Unfamiliar with the roads, but it's been interesting this side of the San Juans, and we're actually heading south more or less. And I don't know the name of these mountains, but they're different. It's hard to tell with the sun where it is right now, 149 towards South Fork, and I think I'm heading east now because I haven't told anybody back home that I'm heading home, but my time in the mountains has come to an end and I am making my way back to Georgia. So just out of Creed, following Highway 149, and I'm basically following the Rio Grande River and an old railroad bed, and we've been crisscrossing through mountains, and it's kind of a scenic, pretty cool. There's some of the old railroad equipment right there. The siding looks like they've been shaking up the track and some of the cross ties over time, but pretty scenic. I wonder if that's going to be a Rails to Trails project one day. But we're going through narrow canyons, and look at there. Looks like somebody's out to have some fun today. Horseback riding at 8,500 feet above sea level. I don't know what this little town is, but they rent Jeeps and ride horses apparently. Pretty nice little place right here under these trees. There wasn't a lot to do in Creed that interested me, so I took off. That's the reason why I was only there for about an hour. Changed clothes, brushed my teeth. I'm good to go now. Well, just went through South Fork, and as you can tell, the mountains have totally played out. No más montañas. Feels like it's hotter too, but the phone says here, it's reporting to the GPS that it's only 64 degrees. Oh, here's some mountains over here. But I don't know, the sun feels extra hot. I think some of that hot weather from Georgia is blowing out west, and it's just really hot. But I typed in Pampas, Texas, and it was 430 something miles away maybe, and now it's 411. So we're rolling. It's really warm today, really bright, not a cloud in the sky, front or back. Oh, and you can see some mountains off to the left here, but it's hot here and dry. I think the whole state of Colorado is dry. There is a lot of fire danger. The guy said in Creed at the visitor center, he said that if the wind changed in Ouray, there was nothing stopping the fire from blowing all the way over to Creed, because there's a lot of natural forest between there, and one of them, they're not permitted to tamper with the fire. It's supposed to burn naturally, just like it would, before people managed it. So anyway, I'm about to pick up the pace here when I put the phone down. Right now I'm rolling 61 miles an hour. Got a full tank of gas. Been 2,349 miles since I left Macon, and got about, 1,500 miles to go to get home. So it'll be right at 4,000 miles by the time I get home. Oh, this is pretty. Alrighty, so check in later. About 23 miles from Walsenburg, and I think that's where I-25 comes in. Meets Highway 160, which is what I'm on right now. Just went through Alamoso and went right by Great Sand Dunes and the Bench Press House. Took us some pictures of that. So skinning it on back now. Just went over a mountain pass about 9,700 feet. Was able to maintain 50 all the way up and over. Wow. Got passed by a trailer truck. So that's something. Anyway, on the way up. So look out to the right there. There's a big mountain over there. I don't know what that's called. Maybe I can find out, but it is tall. 13 miles away from Walsenburg, Colorado. That's where I'll pick up I-25. And I happen to look to my left, and look at that. That's got to be the Ouray fire. And I don't know what that is on the far right. That looks like another fire. But the one on the left, I'm almost positive is the Ouray fire. So I think I'm maybe 100 miles away. And look at it. So I had Hawk in the office pull up a map and see how far away these fires are. And it's a minimum of 150 feet. It's a minimum of 150 miles away. And just think, we saw that fire start. We saw it start like within 15 minutes of it starting, and look what it grew into. This place out here is a tinderbox just waiting for something to happen. So this morning I woke up 10,500 feet in the upper 20s, wind blowing, I don't know, 15, 20 miles an hour. I was really, really cold. And then decided to head east and went to Creed, had breakfast, well, Lake City, and then on to Creed, had a late breakfast, and then realized that there really wasn't a lot happening in Creed. So I decided, you know, it's time to move on. So now I'm on I-25 and about to cross into New Mexico. Having to cross this pass here, it is 7,600 feet, pretty steep. Kind of caught me by surprise, but there's still mountains here. And when I turned around, and I bought gas in Trinidad, when I turned around and looked across the state, I could see the smoke from the Ouray and from the Utah border fires. So it is a real deal. You can see the smoke completely across the state from one side to the other. So anyway, it's smooth sailing over here, except for the temperature. As you can see, it's 86 degrees, and it was 90 degrees earlier down in the desert, crossing I-25, crossing over whatever that area is east of Alamoso. But anyway, the goal tonight is to go to Texas, maybe even further, who knows, or farther. But right now, about to cross over into New Mexico, and or already have. I didn't see a sign anywhere, but the exit numbers changed. So anyway, got a ways to go. Looks like it's 4 hours to the place in Texas that I want to go to. And if I keep rolling, that's in the Panhandle. If I keep rolling, I can make it all the way to I-40 and probably on into Oklahoma. Wow. Look at the view. Let's see if I can zoom in. Wonder how far away that peak is. Like I'm heading out across this flat area here, still at like 6,500 feet elevation, but according to the GPS I'll be in Oklahoma in like 180 miles. The wind is really rocking me back and forth though. I might go see this volcano though, that might be worth seeing. Capulin is 27 miles away. I'm on Highway 64, got off I-25, headed toward Guymon, Oklahoma, 170 miles. But I've been about 25 miles and there is a whole lot of nothing. I saw a couple of ranches that just went on and on and on forever. Took some photos. You can see the mountains in Colorado, which is pretty cool considering I was just up there a while ago. But now I'm in New Mexico, Highway 64. Eventually it'll run up with I-40. Alright, so Capulin Volcano, 3 miles. Capulin, I don't know, how do you say it? Alright, just checked in with the volcano staff. There's no fee. They didn't even ask for my park pass after 3:30. They do want vehicles coming back down by 4:15. Also, there's no center line, so she had to tell me that I needed to stay on the right side of the road, even though it looks a lot like a bike lane. Anyway, headed up to Volcano and kind of excited about this because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So you would think after I've been doing this for the last several days that I'd be used to this shelf road, but I ain't gonna lie, this is nerve-wracking right here. It's just like falling off a volcano if you go off to the right. I mean, can you see that? So I might not know the name of this volcano, but I know what that bowl right there is called. Caldera. Alright, so we're here at Capulin, that's what the ranger called it, Capulin. And that's the entrance down there where I took a photo. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Can I even see it? Alright, here we go. Anyway, you can see the smoke from the wildfires up here way off in the distance. I don't know if the video is going to let me zoom in, but you can see it. It's like a volcanic eruption. That's the Utah-Colorado fires. But anyway, I drove here up Highway 64 and there was a whole lot of nothing between here and the place called Raton, I don't know. But that's when I got off I-25.
Intimate caring at the moment of death.
Alrighty. So we just crossed into Oklahoma, Highway 412, and got a room booked for at Guymon, Oklahoma. Guymon. Got about an hour and a half to go, and I'll be bunking in there for tonight, and tomorrow pick up where I left off. So one thing I've learned, and we're actually driving through part of this, is that there are national grasslands, not national park, not national monuments or whatever, but there is national grasslands, and I think that you can free range cattle on them with permission. Maybe you have to pay for a lease or something, but the one coming up on the left here is called Rita Blanca NG on my map. And NG stands for National Grasslands. They're out there picking the wheat. There's a truck loaded, taking it somewhere. So that right there is a big feedlot. I don't think it's a dairy. I don't know, they got these tanks right here. Maybe it's a dairy. Sure is dusty though right through here. They got that hay they store up in there, and they got tires to hold down covers. Highway 412, about 70 miles west of Guymon. Well, good morning. It's Thursday morning. July 2nd. I am rolling, literally rolled out at 6 a.m. Guyman, Oklahoma. The winds calmed down a good bit for this morning, so I hope this morning's drive is a lot easier. You can see we're still out in the middle of a whole lot of nothing. Well, I've been about 40 miles, I guess, out of Guyman and came into another big wind farm. I don't know if you can see them on the screen, but just like the ones from I-40, it looks like there's thousands of these things out here. Thankfully, the sun hadn't popped through yet and started blinding me. But every oil well I've come across is not running, and all but one windmill is running. I guess that's a sign of the times. Alrighty, not much to say about the last 1,200 miles, except it was a job to get it back home. But here I am, back at the house. 359,629 miles and a total of 3,860 on the odometer. What a trip. Epic trip. And here's all my gear back here. Seems like it hadn't moved an inch or any since I've been rolling. So gonna get the doors open here and start cleaning up. What a trip.